Next, we need to use this edge tool. And what it's going to do is put a bevel on each edge. That'll make it nice for burnishing. And it gets rid of the sharp corners. It'll improve the look of the project and the durability. A little extra effort to get around by the corners here. The next step is going to be burnishing. Excuse the noise, there's a dehydrator running out here in the garage. I'm not even going to try and pronounce this stuff, but this is what I'll be using, along with this piece of wood with the different grooves in here for different thickness leathers. We're just going to spread some of this on the edges. Usually you have to do this twice. Sorry if I'm getting out of frame, it's a little hard to do this behind the camera. And then we just rub. You can use different parts of this tool depending on what you have to get. This works great getting on the inside here, and good for finishing up after you've gone and used the right size grooved piece. Okay, let's do a second application. It's almost like this stuff softens the edge of the leather and makes it a little bit gummy, so that when you rub it, the pores all smooth over and become kind of solid. I don't know exactly how it works, but that's what feels like what's going on. Now, of course, in the very center, you'll see it a little bit different because we'll have a very thin glue line in there. So you can see, you can make out the glue line inside there. You see a little different color, but that's okay. You can see it looks different after the second application. And work on these corners here too. That's what it looks like after burnishing. Now, one more thing, let's double check inside here. You want to make sure you don't make a ridge on the inside. You want to make sure that inside is smooth. That's good. I'm going to let this sit for a little while and get it to focus. I'll let this sit for a little while and let the leather harden back up. Then we'll apply a clear coat. Now that this lip is set for a few minutes and the leather is stiffened back up, because it gets pretty soft from that burnishing agent, we're going to go ahead and put a leather sheen on it. This is a leather sheen made by Bings, and I really like this stuff. I just take a little piece of an old t-shirt and just rub it on. I try and rub it in pretty good and use it almost as a little bit of cleaner in addition. I'm also going to soak the edges. I'm going to let this sit for about 5 minutes and then I'll do this again. Okay, let's do a second coat. And finish the edges off. Doesn't soak up as much the second time. And just to get rid of any fingerprints, let me just brush over the surfaces one last time. Strictly holding by the edges. I'm going to cap it right away. Again, I'll let this dry for about 5 minutes. Let's buff this up a little bit. That's what it looks like next to a piece of raw leather. Does add a nice little sheen. Then the final step is to use some of my leather conditioner. I'm just going to rub it on. Rub it in all the edges. And start working it in. Using your hands and friction to work it into that leather. Now I'm going to take my burnishing tool and go over the edges one more time to really buff that wax in there and have it fill any remaining pores. Any spot needs more, just add a little bit. Now we're going to let it dry. Okay, let's buff this off. You can see there already, that looks really nice. there's the finished product. See the nice sheen on it? Here's a piece of the raw leather compared to the finished. I think it has an excellent look. So that you have this in your pocket and you get nice and sweaty. This will give the leather a measure of protection. It's not going to make it waterproof, but it'll make it water resistant. And I usually include one of these blocks of conditioner with a slip so that you can always recoat it and you can keep it with a nice sheen and with a good amount of protection. So I hope you've enjoyed this quick demonstration of making a leather slip.